Support for this show, Politics Done Right, comes from politicsdoneright.com, publishers of How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, As I See It, Class Warfare, The Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. And of course, good morning to the entire world, receiving our signals via the magic of El Internet, formerly known as the ARPANET, created by whom? Created by we the people. Again, let's use that word. We the people, we the people, we the people. Anyway, folks, we're going to have a great show for you today. Remember, today is Tuesday in Texas, in North Carolina. I think it's North Carolina. And several other states. Guys, help me out, those of you from other states. It's the day to vote for your primary candidate. Please, folks, go out there and vote. It is time to take the country back. It's time to give the country back to its people. Anyway, without further ado, let's move on to El Estudio con el señor Jacques Van Bever and Howard Reynolds. Good morning, hermanos.
We the people. We the people. You got it. It's Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2026. Voting day, election day. And I did early voting the first day it came out, so I've already put my vote in.
Let's vote the bums out.
I encourage people to vote. Please vote, people, because this may be your last chance to do it. You know, I used to think, well, you know, the United States we're always going to vote our representatives. Not so. It's looking pretty rough. Jack, what you got, man?
Okay, here's today's program. Today's program confronts two defining questions of our time. Who should pay for America's future, and who decides when America goes to war? As lawmakers propose sweeping $4.4 trillion tax on extreme wealth to fund housing, healthcare, and education, the Pentagon defends controversial claims about U.S. involvement in escalating tensions with Iran. Economic justice and foreign policy collide in a debate that cuts to the core of democracy, accountability, and whose interests truly drive national policies.
I just wonder if anybody remembers weapons of mass destruction and George W. Bush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are reliving the nightmare here.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
They're making false claims and, you know, lying to the public to go to war.
Mm-hmm. All right, you got a page of wisdom here, so let's get wise.
Yeah, I was perusing the headlines. This one headline caught me. New farm bill puts foreign-owned agribusiness over families and states. Oh, this headline says it all. The billionaire elites have sold out family-owned American agribusiness to foreign-owned investors so the billionaires can make a few more percentage points of profit in their pockets. Citizens, you are constantly being sold out and undermined by billionaire businessmen. Lawmakers Bernie Sanders and Will Khanna proposed a $4.4 trillion tax on extreme wealth to fund America's failing social infrastructure of housing, healthcare, and education. American citizens, you must push back on the concentration of extreme wealth to the billionaire class, for they have become so wealthy since Reagan, they are acting like drunks, intoxicated on too much wealth, and it shows in how badly they are treating you, the American citizen, and the people all over the planet, Mother Earth, that sustains us all.
Oh, I think we have. Yeah, go ahead. I'm taking over your show. I'm sorry. I'm directing here.
No, not at all. Not at all. Is Sandy in already?
I wanted to get a word in from Sandy Wyman, our general manager. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Howard. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well on this Tuesday, and what I hope will be the final day of our fund drive. We'll find out a little later in the early evening if we can go over the line when we draw sustaining pledges for the month of March. We do this 4 times. The first one is on the 3rd of the month, which is today, March 3rd. So we'll find out if there's enough there to push us over. It's going to be really close. So if we have a really good day of funding, then possibly tonight when we draw those, we'll go over. If not, we'll just keep going, as we would be very close. Anyway, we start today at $152,123 from 974 distinct acts of kindness, donations, and we appreciate it. We have a $600 goal for this program today, up $100 from what we've been doing every day for 19 days. This being day number 20 of our winter marathon, and 20 days on a marathon, I hope, would be enough. In fact, ultimately, the goal is to cut that down to half of this, and we can do that with more sustaining pledges. So if six of you out there could put $10 a month down for KPFT, we would go over our goal and be in a better position come next fund drive, given we end tonight. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. We still have our birthday party queued up for March 29th. It's going to be a crawfish cook-off, $75 per ticket, $130 per pair of tickets. Of course, our vintage t-shirt, the Politics Done Right t-shirt, available for a $100 donation during today's program. But it's important that we get this thing funded and move on with KPFT without asking you for money in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and overnight, as we have been during this marathon. One more time, 713-526-5738, option 1 to donate, option 2 to chime in on the events ongoing. Thank you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Look, Sandy is so right. If we can wrap this up today by getting enough cash in for today, we're done for the next 3 months or so. Let me tell you, the year has 52 weeks in it, and 3 times a year we come and ask just about over two and change weeks each time, which turns out to, I'll say, somewhere between, of those 52 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks, which we still give programming, but we have to interspace it with asking. And any programmer here would tell you, any person developing music or documentaries or anything here would tell you that we really don't like to do this. And if you notice, I always say here at KPFT, remember, this is for KPFT, because sometimes people are looking to, and they want to know that their hard earned dollars is being used for something useful. And I think anybody who listens to our program, and not only this show, but the other great shows on this program, Michael Whitson's program, we have the Progressive Forum, and many others. My mind go blank anytime I'm thinking about things I need to think about. Uh, it, 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 we're doing something that is important and something that is becoming more scarce year after year. So let's if we can, let's try to wrap it up today. It would be wonderful if many of you who haven't yet donated this cycle or has never donated, to go ahead and say, you know what, I want to do my part to keep this thing going. I really, really want to do it. I stayed at zero for a long time yesterday. It was kind of scary, and I didn't make the quota yesterday, and I think that makes about 4 days in this session that I hadn't done that. So I'd like to ask for a bit more support on the program by calling 713-526-5738. Now, let me tell you something that happened to me. I called in yesterday, and I don't know if you know this, Sandy, but they're trying to get on to Woodson's show yesterday. I had to call in a few times before I got out of a circular loop. So sometimes I think the system may have a little bit of problem. Hey, we're 501c3 guys. We really, don't have the best equipment. but I had to do it a few times to get in. So if at any time you call it, if you're calling in, that is, if at any time you call in and somehow you seem circular, call in again till you get through, please. Our number is 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Second thing I want to talk about is you can go to kpft.org, kpft.org, hit that donate button, and select Politics Done Right as your program, and go ahead and give whatever you can. Sandy gave some great suggestions at $5 a month, $10 a month, a one-time contribution if that's all you want to do, as well as t-shirts, $100. Remember, you don't have to pay all of this at once. All right, before we get started into two important topics, I see our beautiful people in the chat, and I must acknowledge my peeps. Don is in the house. Stuart Cohen, Lynette running the show. Sarah F. Kairov is in the house. She says hello. Happy to be here and looking forward to voting. Great. Stuart Cohen is in here. Says W. I know what you mean by that. Don says good morning. And we have Astedion, our regular as well. W devised, what does that say? Phrase evildoers. Okay, Karen is in the house. Mary Lou is in. Cheryl Elkis. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for being here. Don't forget, sign up for our Zoom coffee with Egberto. She gave some great contributions to ensure that we get support on that one. Jane B in North Carolina. Today is special for you because I saw the t-shirt came in from Indivisible Lake Norman. And look at what I'm wearing today on the thing. Indivisible Lake Norman from our book club that we had out there a few weeks ago. And here is the t-shirt. You guys are doing great work out there, Jane B. Keep it up. Well, I know I don't need to say that. Why am I saying that? Don says, I agree with Bernie, but I also think that the billionaires' income tax rate should be comparable to our income tax rate. Actually, I think it should be substantially more. And I can get into that when we start discussing Ro Khanna's and Bernie's stuff that we're talking about. I think most of you would agree, because when I talk about billionaires making monies on our backs, there's nothing inherently billionairish in a billionaire. And again, one of the reasons we somehow allow there to be billionaires is because we have allowed ourselves and this is done unconsciously, to somehow feel less worthy than the people who have best studied capitalism, right? And let me digress here a second and put that out. One has to be, and that goes for all of us, myself included. We have to be taught that an economic system is immutable, or it is what it should be, not realizing that it's something that was created, and that the people who created said economic system did it with their own biases for self-sufficiency. So the people who created how our systems operate did it in such a manner that they'll do very well and that it's hard for them not to do well. It wasn't designed to say for equity. It was never, ever designed for equity, but it is man-made. And it is something that is hard after one has been indoctrinated for generations after generation to look at it for what it really is. But we'll continue there after. Cheryl Elkin says, resist with your pocketbooks. This site is very helpful. It's, what is it called? Resist done. What does it say? Resist and unsubscribe.com. Resist and unsubscribe.com. I need to check that out, Cheryl. Carol Freds, welcome aboard. Or Frida, I should say. Carol Frida, welcome aboard. And let's see what else we've got here. All right. Look, I got to get into the program. Lisa Blair from Atlanta, Georgia, welcome to Politics Done I'm going to start in Iran because, of course, that is where things are right now, and it would be irresponsible for us not to see it. I want to give Jacqueline, la profesora, thank you so kindly for your contribution. We have our first contribution, and it's from another teacher in the house. Our teachers have actually very much showed up. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you for loving the program as well. And we love you. And that comes from the heart. Um, Look, when it comes to, I tell you what, the article that cued this story about Iran that I want to talk about says, shame, it's from Common Dreams. Common Dreams is another good rag that we all should be supporting as well if we can. Shameless critics, and by the way, I don't know the guys who own this particular rag. Just found this particular rag very, very informative in the authors that they have. And by the way, yours truly has written a few articles. If you search my name at Common Dreams, they printed a few of my articles as well. Shameless critics hammer Pete Hegseth for claiming we didn't start war on Iran. In the Trump administration's first public remarks to reporters on the strikes the U.S. and Israel launched in Iran over the weekend, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth blamed the Middle Eastern country for the attacks that have killed at least 555 people there, as well as at least 4 U.S. soldiers. It's now up to 6, and suggested Iran posed an imminent threat because of its defensive military capabilities. So this is priming us. They're priming us to believe this is not a war of choice. This is not a war of aggression. That this is somehow something that Iran did that made us so need to go in and fight the war for their democracy. Hegseth said the strikes that began early Saturday morning and included deadly attacks on children attending school. Remember, quite a few hundred kids were killed by bombs dropped by Israel and the United States. Retribution for Iran's savage one-sided war against America that has played out over the last 47 years as the country has waged proxy attacks on the United States. Okay, that's a big statement to make. Iran has been really attacking the United States of America. Saying something doesn't make it true. I want to ask all of you to simply open your eyes. Open your eyes. Please give me all the instances where somehow we have been in conflict with Iran and that Iran has come out and attacked our American people all over the world. Please show me that. But what I can show you is I can show you that we have been bombing even as much as since Donald Trump came into office, but even before Obama did it, Biden did it. The only president that wasn't overtly belligerent in our generation, in our last 2 generations, has been the only president that I have really idolized, and that is one president called President Jimmy Carter, whose uh, programs have always supported. Because if we want to know one president of peace, that's the only president that we can say buck the system, President Carter. And even as he grew old, he was there building homes with Habitat for Humanity. He was there working elections around the world for real democracy, not with bombs and bullets and guns. And for that, the right would have you believe he was a weak president. No, he was a very strong man, more so outside of the presidency than within. But again, all of you, wake up. Please tell me who have been attacking America. I want you to look around. Americans are all over the world more so than any other country. We are in every country. Who's attacking Americans? Who are killing Americans? I don't see it. What I do see is that if we want somebody to do something and they blink an eye or they don't move, we are very quick on the trigger. You know, boats full loading around the Pacific or the Caribbean Sea. We use it as a pretext. to blow them out the water, claiming they're sending drugs to the United States. Have we ever considered that it's a lot cheaper to give health care to drug addicts in the United States? Have we ever thought of it may be the self-medication of people because of the horrendous condition that our economic system have left a particular group in? Have we ever thought about that? But no, we lie to our people. We lie to Americans and tell them Iran is on the verge of creating ballistic missiles to attack the United States. Why the hell would they do that? It's as stupid as the people who believe that there are illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants in the United States that somehow going to put themselves in danger and go to the polls and vote for Democrats and put themselves at risk of being found. Don't you see how they think you're stupid? And whenever we acquiesce to those thoughts, we come close to validating what they think of us. Yesterday, um, I listened to our shows as well. Well, not all the time. I don't get to all the time, but yesterday I was listening to Michael Whitson's show, Conversations, and a woman called in, well-meaning woman. I know she's a well-meaning woman. I know she's a nice woman, and she said she's a progressive. And she said, I'm a progressive, but I really think people are being, because they hate Donald Trump so badly that even when he may be doing something that is kind of okay, like liberating Iran, that we don't see the good on that particular incident is. And, I'm bald headed. For those of you who are listening and not watching on the video, I'm bald headed, but I swear to God, I wanted to pull my skin off because what I saw or when I heard her, what I said to myself is there's so much work we have to do. There is so much work we have to do because she actually believes that. She is a good person. But the only reason she believes that is the messaging that we get, not only from right wing media, but from left wing media. Are those clerics terrible in Iran? They are horrendous. Are they killing their own? They are doing so. But are they out there just running around the place killing Americans? No. Do we have the responsibility to go into Iran and take out that government to liberate them? Absolutely not. There are many countries that, technically speaking, need liberation. I can name you 5 African countries that need liberation. I can name you 5 Asian countries that need liberation. I can name you 5 European countries that need liberation. And I can look at America and I can say, we need liberation from ICE. Should France come in and help us be liberated from people who would kill their own in the streets? The rest of the world, as we talk about how crude, how violent the clerics are on the Iranian people, the rest of the world is seeing how violent ICE is in America. They are seeing how violent our police is for the bodies of people of color. They see that around the world. People think they're blind. I mean, the same things that we talk about other countries, we put a blind eye when a lot of these things happen in our own country. And, what we don't understand is all of these things are power plays. Power plays. And we are just pawns in the game. So when I listened to that woman called into Woodson's show, I mean, I have no animosity towards her. I have no bad feelings toward her. But I said, we have so much work to do. Because the fact that she could say that meant she knew nothing about 1953. She knew nothing about the genesis of the condition that created what we have with Iran today. Nothing about it. And that's why I'm going to pivot here and say that's why I am asking you to keep us well supported. Here is a program that is not going to follow the T line, that is not going to listen to the external voices trying to taper one down, that is not going to change the discussion when YouTube and Facebook throttles your program and prevent using AI your program from having maximal distribution. We are going to come out here and tell the truth. We are going to come out here. So, folks, please, 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 please give us a call. 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute, or go to kpft.org and hit that donate button. After you hit that donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you're supporting. And please join Jacqueline, who is our first and only donor. We are about $450 away, and I know you can do it. Callers, I'm coming to you after Sandy, Johnny, and Patrick. Sandy is going to come in a minute. And you know what? Sandy has a beautiful voice. But I don't want you to listen to Sandy today. I want you to call in while Sandy is talking, while Sandy is trying to get more people to call in. You can call in now. You have the time. You're not going to miss any of the show if you start calling right now, because Sandy going to be on for a couple minutes, and then we'll get right back to the program. So, brother El Senor Station Manager, Sandy Wyman, come on in.
Thank you, Egberto, and thanks for all you do, and a big thanks to this audience for a really solid drive. The morning audience sets the tone for the day. By the time Amy Goodman is done with her program, we always hope to have about $1,000 collected at that point in the morning, and we go from there. And for the most part, that's happened. So I want to thank everybody that made these donations along the way. 975 distinct acts of kindness is not a mistake. We really appreciate your concern for keeping community radio, for keeping our independent voice. But now I do want you to listen to me, especially those of you that haven't made a pledge this drive, maybe never. Please step up and become the next new member of KPFT. If you've been listening for a while, then you've been hearing us ask for dollars so that we can continue to power our 100,000 watt transmitter, blaring 3 HD channels streaming worldwide. We have a paid staff, actual Pacific employees, of 3 in Houston, half of our nearest Pacifica neighbor or less. It's a feat of magic, and it's done with passion from a lot of people, not just myself, but a lot of people that allow this station to continue. All we're asking of you is $5 a month. You've never given any money to KPFT? Try it. Make a $35 basic membership pledge. Do that, or $5 a month. But those people that have been sitting on the sidelines, letting the other people fund the station while you listen, consider what if they had not done that? Then you probably wouldn't be listening to anything but static, or worse yet, maybe we would have one of the larger Christian networks occupying this frequency. Worse yet, in my mind, anyway. Folks, those of you sitting by, not donating, well, you're putting it on the backs of the people that do. We're trying to grow our membership, and we're trying to get this message to you in particular. Why haven't you donated? Think about that. We survive on listener donations, you know that. So are you hoping that we go away? Are you thinking somebody else is going to do it and I don't have to? Now, if you're not in a position to donate, I understand. Money's a valuable commodity, especially in this economy with $10 loaves of bread. But just the same, KPFT, for its survival, needs you Don't give us your food money. Don't give us the money for your rent or your power. But if you have $5 an extra a month, put it down in a sustaining membership. The way you do that is you call the number 713-526-5738 option 1, or you mouse it over to kpft.org and click donate, or donate off the KPFT radio app available on the Android and Apple stores. But don't sit idly expecting someone else to do it. We have one person to thank, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for your donation, getting us off this morning out of Katy, and we're waiting to hear from you. One more time, 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. In 1970, on March 1st, KPFT went on the air, and since then, people have been stepping up for these 56 years and a couple of days to make sure that we're still here. Now, it's up to us. We're it. We're on our own. 713-526-5738. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. I want to, for our Jacqueline and LBW. I don't know if LBW came into the chat yet or not, but these are two teachers. And by the way, if you're a teacher and I don't know, tell me in the chat now, because you know me and teachers, man. Me love me some teachers. Me gusta las profesoras, las maestras son mías. But there is a certain generosity in the heart of teachers, even the ones that have been working a while and they think they're fed up, they're tired of it. And sometimes some teachers would tell you, I've had it, I hate it, whatever. But they're there and they all can go elsewhere because they are well educated. They can all go elsewhere, but their comfort is with the kids they put together. We don't pay them enough, but still, they are always so generous. Here we have our teachers who listen and they contribute. These are the same teachers, and I see it now even with my own daughter who has become a teacher. Dad, I am going to make a stop at Walmart, or Dad, I'm going to make a stop here. Okay, beautiful. I got to go get some stuff for my kids. I have to go get, she said, I'm like, really? By the way, who pays for that, boo? Oh, we take care of our kids. And that's just, that's how they are. And we have learned from the right wing here that somehow the teachers and the teachers union and all this, don't buy into these fallacies. The reason they want you to have some issues with teachers is because they're the ones who move knowledge forward. And they want you just knowledgeable enough to work for them. I'm talking about the billionaires and the others that are trying to promote the teacher hate that you see here in Texas and many other places. But I find teachers to be some of the most generous, caring people, bar none. So folks, support us as well. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Give whatever you can. Or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, select politics and right, and give whatever you can. Johnny and Patrick. Johnny, sorry for having you holding, but we're in fun drive. Starting tomorrow, if Sandy take this hold off of us, we'll be able to have a bit more chat. Come on in, brother Johnny.
Hey, Theoretical, Tuesday voting day to you and everybody else in the listening audience. And Sandy is so correct. It's so easy. It would be so easy for 90.1 frequency to be overtaken by an ultra-religious Christian network. It would be too easy to happen. But you know what's not easy? You know what requires a lot of work, a lot of time and discipline and effort, is being a true progressive. Because to be an actual progressive, you have to pay attention, you have to listen, you have to engage in nuanced thinking all the time. Why? Because, unfortunately, we have this thing called legacy media and right-wing media, and guess what? They gang up on us.
Yeah.
So, we have to do that. We have to do everything we can to the best of our abilities to support and promote KPFT, which is what I do. I do it a lot. As a matter of fact, you're correct about throttling down, even on YouTube, which is a blessing. It's the public square that we have now. Even then, I get throttled. I complain about it. And then all of a sudden, my posts reappear magically. How's that? That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, it is something that... Go ahead, sir.
One last thing about Jasmine Crockett. I discovered the other night when I was going through her material is that and we have to reach out to her and correct her on this and push her to amend her position on the progressive income tax code. As a fellow progressive, you and I both know that her talking up John F. Kennedy's income tax code, that's not going to get us there. Think about this. We started out with FDR's progressive income tax code. Remember that? And then it started getting whittling down, and it got whittled down by Eisenhower. But that was still good enough. And with his progressive income tax code, we was able to do infrastructure like the freeway system in the United States and public school building construction. But by the time Kennedy got into it, he whittled it down even further because he succumbs to pressure. So saying that we can do well with the progressive income tax code under Kennedy is wrong. We have to go back at least to what we had under Eisenhower. So we need to reach out to Miss Crockett and push her for that. And I hope she does win. As a matter of fact, I'm going to vote for her. I made that decision last night. I'm voting for Crockett.
Thank you for your commentary. Let me just say something, Johnny, because you said something very, very important, and I want to add to that. First of all, you're absolutely right that we have to push past Kennedy. We got to push past Eisenhower. But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about it. When they realize that we are engaged and we are knowing, that happens. But right now, I take as an example that call that I said was made to the Woodson show yesterday, to Conversations yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I heard her too. I felt the same way.
Right. And the thing, it's funny because I immediately after I called in, I got an email from, I'm not going to name the donor, that said, just for making that statement, I just donated to KPFT. I got the email and I started to crack up. I'm like, well, I guess your hair was burning like my skin on the top of my head was burning. But again, the thing about it is this. What you said is empowering and remind us that we are empowered. Because what did you say? We need to call Jasmine and remind her and maybe tell her, right? Or just like we need to call Cornyn. Every single one right now, we got to tell them that we know what's really going on. But Johnny, I got to go to Patrick. Patrick's been on hold for a while. I hope he doesn't take the neck off. But thank you, my brother. You have a good
I will agree. I will agree with you about Jimmy Carter. He's the only U.S. president that never got my hair up on the back of my neck when he would talk about religiosity, because he practiced what he preached, literally. Just like Reverend Bob, Reverend Barber and the People's Campaign. Those are true religious people who I admire. Have a good day.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I love me some Carter. I mean, I don't care what the people want to say. Carter is my man. All right, come on in, Patrick.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
All right. How you doing, my brother?
Doing fine. I have a higher standard for presidents. I would say every single one in my life has been a disappointment, including Carter. I would say he's the least disappointing. But when you consider East Timor, he's not an angel. I think that he tried to make up for that after his presidency, and that's when he became a better person. But during his presidency, just like every other president we've had, he committed treason and attacked somebody for an unjustifiable reason. And we've been tolerating this, and this is why we are where we are. We had Carter in East Timor. We had Clinton firing cruise missiles into Afghanistan without congressional permission. We had the Iran-Contra affair under Reagan. Under Bush, we had the cover-up for it. Under Bush Jr., we had Iraq, which we're still paying for, and is why we are where we are right now. And then we had covert operations under Obama. he assassinated somebody on their balcony, and he sabotaged the nuclear program, which was legal in Iran. So I would say every single one of the presidents we've had in my lifetime should have been impeached, and we need to quit tolerating this. But that's not why I called. I called because I was upset yesterday about a call too. I heard your call. I heard her call, and yeah, that it upset me. And then somebody on your show upset me that I called about yesterday. And I'd like to invite that guy up back on to apologize. Now that we know that we bombed over a dozen hospitals, we killed over 100 elementary school kids. We killed 3 generations in in Khalani's family that were innocent. Other people are dying. We've got soldiers dying. We're going to go broke over this, and they're going to wear us down. And they are economically slaying us right now. We're going to see in the next few weeks the United States that grinds to a halt. So to say that any good came out of this, and by the way, this is Trump didn't go and justify this on any level to anybody. And this is exactly what a war that is started by blackmail would look like to me. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Patrick. At another time, I will go over that issue with how people have been informed. So I'm glad that you said all that you said, which is correct. All right, before I get on to, I think before I continue, I want to say that we still only have one contributor, and that is our professor, Jacqueline. I would love for more to call in now, 713-526-5738 extension 1. Donate whatever you can. Contribute, I should say, invest whatever you can, because this is an investment in all of us. When you contribute to us, you are investing into informing our fellow person. We can't quite say things should change if we are not invested in changing things that need changing. Think about that. I don't remember if it's Patrick, was it you that I was talking to? I don't remember exactly when I pointed out that no, I think it was, I don't remember who it was. That's immaterial. But it is the right wing scares its people into such a frenzy that they have no problems with their own stations that ill inform and misinform. They have no problem raising money because they have you so scared and in a frenzy that you think you have to give your last dollar, your last line of credit, because you're so scared. You think it's existential you're given. We don't have to do we don't do that. But we point out that one of the reasons they are so funded and they are in an everlasting loop of ill information and misinformation. And it's not only the right wing, but it's the mainstream media in that loop. Because again, if you recall all the stories that I've given about the Powell memo, etc., which said the following: control your churches, your media, your classrooms, and your books. Look up the Powell Manifesto or Powell Memo or Powell Memorandum written by former Supreme Court Justice uh, uh, Lewis Powell. And Lewis Powell, by the way, was a Democrat. I like to remind people about that this this disease this disease of taking over our economic system and having it work against you is not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's a power thing by the elite. And the parties are but pawns in this entire system. And as we fight each other, they're on top. They're saying, as long as those fools are down there fighting, we can continue to rape them. That's what it's all about. And when we understand that, you understand why. I mean, you don't see me have the hate and animosity to the folks on the other side, if you will. because I understand it is how it's programmed. I figure what we have to do. And by the way, some of us on the left has some issues as well. You know, some of us on the left have some issues as well. Not as bad, but again, what you're investing in, folks, what you are investing in helping break that cycle, helping break that cycle. And it can't happen by happenstance. It doesn't happen by a wish. It doesn't happen that from a hope. You know, the other day on our 3 o'clock program, I was talking to LBW, and LBW came on and she gave us a passionate narrative that I turned into both a video and a blog. I hope you read the blog that I wrote along with your narrative, LBW, because it was so to the core. It was so true that her thoughts, if she is thinking what she is thinking, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Americans who are thinking the same. Marge KJ, I love Egberto and his crew. Thank you so kindly, Margaret K. Thank you so kindly. We are now 425 away. I know we can do it, my brothers and sisters. But when LBW gave that narrative and I cut it out, I cleaned it up, cut it out, and then wrote an article around it, it was like, that's the sentiment. And if you take a look at some of the people that comment about it, that's the sentiment that millions of Americans have. And how does it get out there? How do millions of Americans know that they're not alone? Because one of the things that we preach in this, guys, I'm on the Bernie Sanders piece of this stuff. You can read it at politicsandright.com/newsletter, because right now I'm feeling a zone here that I want to get across. If you take a look at when we have people that call in and present certain narratives, one of the things that we can do with that is expand it, right? Like I said, LBW came in, and as she's talking and saying that her lived experiences, I am saying, how many more Americans does that represent? Many, millions. And we take that not only into not only what she says, but we expand that and we put that out there to let folks know they're not living on an island. Because you know what? They also try to teach us here this thing called rugged individualism. Rugged individualism doesn't exist. Rugged individualism does not exist. We are all our brother's keeper. Thank you so kindly, Jane B. And hey, Jane, man, and look, these are people that are giving again, folks. Let's get some new people too. Let's get some new. Look at this. The T-shirt I'm wearing is from Jane B's group. Check it out. Check this out. The Indivisible. I forgot the link. Indivisible Lake Morgan. What is it? Come on, help me out here. Anyway, Indivisible in North Carolina. I'm gonna say that. I'll get the link in a little bit later. Forgive me for not just having it rubbed off my tongue. Let's go to Marge on line 1. Come on in, Marge.
Good morning.
Good morning,
it's not a
How
good
are you
morning
doing?
in Chesapeake.
Chesapeake,
Good, how are
Virginia,
you?
right?
That's right, Chesapeake, where it's raining and it's cold. Well, to me. But I wanted to make a comment. Yeah, I've been listening to all the guys talk about how the presidents are so bad. And, they're people. They're people just like we are, and they have people in their administration that are people. And nobody is going to make the right decisions every single time. But the cool thing is that we're Americans and we can vote. At this point, the Iranians can't vote. How many people in what countries can vote like we can? Even though we're told that our votes are worthless. I mean, come on, folks. I put 25 in. I can't afford it. I'm lucky to be living with my daughter, so I'm putting it in because Egberto is who I want to listen to. not some Christian, station, which to me, Christian has become a bad word in the United States of America. So thank you, Egberto.
Thank you, Marge.
You have a good day.
You too, sis. Let me tell you, I appreciate that from the depths of my heart. From the depths of my heart, I do appreciate that. And like I said, anytime I look into our chat, I smile because this is when we talk about creating spheres of influence and spheres of family, right? This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And picture this, right? Um, I know many of you in here have other spheres of influence. I can use Sister Cheryl Elkin as an example because she invited me to one of her Zoom groups, and people that are making a difference, talking to each other, making a difference. And other ones of you have these informal and formal groups that you work with. That is what ultimately changes. When I talk about uh, geometric progression, right? I talk about if all of us are working in different spheres, right? Eventually, these spheres intersect and change occurs. It doesn't happen overnight, but when it happens slowly and in this form, we have our posse, we have the PDR posse here. This is our sphere. Many of you in the PDR posse has many other spheres. When all these spheres start to intersect, and it doesn't occur overnight, we start to make a difference. And we're making a difference. Let me just say that. Let me jump to Gil, line numero uno. Come on in, Gil.
Oh yes, hi. How are you?
Hi.
What what has been the behind the scenes, if you would, rationale, the explanation as to why we even invaded Iran? Because I ask, because is there an economic incentive, or is it just another ploy by Trump, or is it another quid pro quo for whatever?
Thank you for asking that, Gil. Let me just tell you, every time we go to war, be guaranteed of one thing: it is an economic incentive. Not for all of us. It's always an economic incentive for those who build the bombs, the rockets, the planes. We lost three F-15s yesterday. Those three F-15s that we lost, somebody gonna make a bunch of money replenishing it. Every single one of those Patriot missiles that go knock one of those missiles out of the air costs $4 million. Each missile. Every time you see a missile, and whenever a missile is out there, they send at least two to knock it out. That is $8 million per instance. So if understand these numbers, people are making money off of this. Now, if we're successful in toppling Iran, and Iran gets a government that wants to work with the United States, just like we're doing with Venezuela, our corporatists, our capitalists will make a killing. They're going to go into Venezuela and get the oil on the cheap from Delcy Rodriguez. Delcy Rodriguez is trying to keep her country alive. It's always about money, Gil. Thank you for your call. Let's go to Brad. Come on in, Brad. And before we go to Brad, I want to give a very big thank you to Richard. Richard, thank you out of New Caney. And by the way, Jane B is out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Margaret is out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And La Preciosa Profesora Jacqueline is out of Katy, Texas. So we have New Caney, Texas. We got Mooresville, North Carolina, Chesapeake, Virginia, and Katy, Texas. We need now. Let me tell you how much more we need. Let's see. That is para ver 180, 280. Let's call that 350. We need about 150, 175 more. So let's go to Brad. Come on in, Brad. I didn't forget about you, Brad.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you didn't. That's somebody's one. Tell me, where are you going to be tonight? Whose campaign watch party are you going to be at?
I have several to go to, and guess where I think I'm going to be? Right in front of these 5 screens.
Okay.
Let me tell you which ones I'm supposed to go to. I'm supposed to go to Finney's campaign here. I think he's going to have it near New Caney. I'm supposed to go to the chairman's party. which is in Houston. I'm not. Hey, sorry about that, Mike. I can't make it, but the chairman of the party, which is in town. But I got a lot of writing to do. I'm behind, so I'll probably write here in front of
Right.
these 5 screens. Anyway, which one are you going to be at, Brad?
I don't know. I might be working. I'm working. Might
Well,
stop by.
I
Quickly. So, I will ask you about the Senate. So may I ask who you voted for?
yes, I voted for Crockett.
Okay, cheers. Question. I want to talk about the Republicans. Wesley Hunt. Okay, you know about of course, you know about the Senate race.
Yes.
No, only Wesley Hunt thinks he can win. Literally nobody else. So my question is, he had a good gig in the House of Representatives.
Yes.
He's only there for 4 years. I don't think he gets a pension.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea why he would run for Senate?
I have no idea why he would run for Senate at all. In fact, I was supposed to go out to his meeting, and I was going to exactly ask that question when he came out here to the race park near where I'm at. I have no idea. I think it's probably the name. The way this stuff works, right, is you constantly build name recognition. And that's probably what he wants to do, build name recognition. And if he wins, he'll be happy. If he doesn't win, he got a whole lot of name recognition.
See, my conspiracy theory is
Hmm. I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
people that ran. David Dewhurst, back,
Yeah.
14 years ago, he won the primary, but he didn't get the 50 plus one.
Mhm.
So Cruz beat him in the runoff. So my conspiracy theory is Ken Paxton's side's paying Wesley Hunt a lot of money to try to get this into a runoff. But that's
Mhm.
a conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's true, but
But
apparently
something?
over 100 and
Go ahead.
what?
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Real quick. Yeah. The Senate, for the running for Senate here in Texas, had been the most expensive, apparently, race ever in American history for running for, besides president. But have you seen just how this is, from my perspective, I can remember ads from Reagan's time. This is the nastiest race I've ever seen, including the one for Attorney General. Calling these people, they're not real Republicans, they're rhinos, and saying stuff about all these Republicans are going to stop the Islamists, the Muslims, stop the Islam, and saying, and then the Mays Middleton, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
You haven't seen the commercials about saying that he's prevented the transgender perverts from using women's restrooms. Have you seen those commercials?
Let me tell you, I completely they're dirty they're dirty all over. You want me to tell you one of the few people, and this and I want you guys to corroborate this for me. One of the few people out there with commercials not being nasty is Crockett. And I know that the particular commercial from Talarico isn't his doing, but it's his pack.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a commercial where, in the case of Jasmine, you put it out there and you really darken her skin as if having dark skin is a problem, but you see where these people are coming from, darken her skin and start to use a whole lot of code words.
Yeah.
It's like I
agree. I know.
Yeah.
Real quickly, I was waiting for someone to basically tie some person running for politics to Jeffrey Epstein. And yeah, Cornyn's team did that. They tied Ken Paxton's lawyer, who's basically a lawyer for for Sharia law. He did it for Sharia law, but someone else tied someone to Epstein. I forget which one. Someone did tie him to Epstein, and it is the nastiest political race I have ever seen in my life.
Brad, I'm near a station break. I got to ask for some more money. Yeah. But I thank you. And remember, this is every day we're here at 6 to 7. So you have all the time to talk to me on these issues. All right, brother?
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, man. All right, folks, we are still about $175 short. I know you can bring us over the top. I know you can. 713-526-5738. extension numero uno, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button. When you're done hitting that donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you're supporting, and give whatever you can. Sandy's suggesting $5 a month, $10 a month, or just a one-time contribute, whatever you can. Believe me, we'll take it. This is KPFT Houston, and I'm going to pass it on to Brother Sandy. Sandy, you're up.
Thank you, Egberto. We have about 5-6 minutes left, and what I'm hoping will be the last time in the morning when we're asking you for money. And again, our crawfish boil, those tickets are going to be sold all the way up to, about March 27th, 28th. We're not going to sell them at the door for our birthday party. So you'll continue to hear us talk about the birthday party, asking you to donate on that basis. But hopefully after today, we will be done with the bulk of our fund drive and have made our goal, and we can move on. But we need you. Again, I want to thank these people that are donating again. Richard from New Caney, and Jane from Mooresville, North Carolina, Margaret from Chesapeake, Virginia. It's great to see this. Jacqueline from Katy, and also you missed one earlier. It kind of popped in on the screen. Even before Jacqueline donated was I'm going to butcher the name, Area M from Houston, also made a sustaining donation. These count, folks. These sustaining donations count. I told you we're going to pull sustainers tonight, and we're hopeful that it will be enough to get us over the line. They cut days. They cut literally days off the fund drive. They've even cut out a whole fund drive. So I'll make one last appeal to those of you listening that have never donated. $5 a month. $5. You can take that $5, you can use it in all kinds of ways. And I don't know what you're going to get for your $5, but I know what you're going to get here. You're going to get Egberto in the morning at 6 a.m. You're going to get Amy at 7. You're going to get KPFT programming all day long. There is no coin slot on your radio. We're not sending you notes in the mail. We're not sending you a person to knock on your door. We're not calling you, unless you're a lapsed owner, then we'll do that. But folks, it's up to you. It's your choice. Independent radio, commercial-free KPFT, powered by your friends and neighbors like Egberto, is a unique station in the media environment. We stand alone. We're the oasis in the media desert. $5 a month. Please consider 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. And thanks to all those stepping up this morning and throughout this drive. Next person to donate will be the 980th donation. We're getting there. A few more to go. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. And Haida, that's who I missed calling out this morning. Haida, forgive me. I just did a refresh on my screen and saw that come up. Forgive me. Haida is also a donor. Folks, we are now probably around $100 away, close in that vicinity. I know we can close that loop. Please, somebody give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Tell them it's for Politics Done Right and give whatever you can. $5 a month, $10 a month, a one-time donation, whatever you can, or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you are supporting. Look, Cheryl is putting those links in the chat. Please don't be shy. We want to give each other some virtual hugs with a cup of coffee. So let's have that Zoom. That Zoom is going to be between 7 and 9 p.m. Between 7 and 9 p.m. on on March 6th, Friday. Anyway, folks, you see they're kicking me out. I want to give Madeline, thank you very much for that contribution that just came in. Madeline, we need a couple more of that. Come on in. All right, folks, the rest of the program is at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter, politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. You can email me directly, kpft@politicsdoneright.com, kpft@politicsdoneright.com. Love you all from the depths of my heart. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.
We now join Democracy Now! In Progress on